Well, hello, and welcome back to Advent Stitchery. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, this is a cup of coffee, and today we are on day 8. So, this is the block that we did yesterday. So, we did all the weaving with this new fabric. And I've just, actually it goes that way, doesn't it? And I've just stitched on, so we've got some sort of artistic plant life is what I'm going to call it, because it's no real representation. It's just a leafy bit there and here, and then I just did sort of one large leaf. But the main concentration for me was making sure that I got on my Broad Anglaise and my little bit of tatting. I'm so proud of that. And then some buttons and rusty paper clip, safety pin. This was off that shirt, and then these were just 2 random pieces of lace. And I haven't chosen a number for that yet. So, there we go. Now, number 8. We've only got 4 days left to go. I can't believe it. 4 days, because I said I would do 12 days worth, which is why we did 12 numbers. I am obviously going to continue, and I will come back in January and show you the finished article. But I'm not going to keep you here. Oh, we've got some dog tooth check. I feel like I need to steal a piece of fabric that's not part of the Advent, that's in my bag of things that might work. And I've got this lovely blue rose fabric. Yeah, see, I think that's going to sit on there quite nicely. This was Happy Mail from Helen. Thank you, Helen. And I'm feeling like it's a heart day. So where are my images? Now, I suppose that, let's move our bag. I suppose that really a flower would be quite good for a flower fabric. But I'm feeling this is a background. I mean, actually, see, I said hearts, but now I'm wondering. Oh, no, I'm going to stick with what you said, Claire. Stick with the hearts. Now, there's obviously another one here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. But I think I want this long, thin heart today in that rose fabric. So we're going to need another piece of wadding. And we might need some lace, so I'll get that out while I've got it up. Okay, let's have a look at this. So, just make sure that my heart's going to fit on there. Yep, that's lovely. So let's start. Another salvage edge, which is awesome. Got lots and lots of salvage edges, which has been really good. Tear down here, as always. Right, now, is that a good enough width? Oh, I've got collapsed Jenga. Yep, perfect width. Collapsed Jenga going on the side here. Now, I don't know about you, but I do find often if I look at things like frog tooth or spots, it tends, oh goodness me, blah, put my teeth back in, it tends to send my eyes a little bit offside, which I feel like that's another reason that this is either a background or it's lots of little pieces. And now I'm wondering if that heart is not... Wide heart, thin heart. I wanted to do the thin heart because I love this odd, weird shape. But I'm wondering if that means that we are going to end up with a lot more background, and is that going to be a problem? So let me just rough cut this for a minute and let's try and work that out. So, whoops. I suppose the other thing is I could lighten the whole thing up by adding this beautiful lace, and I know I've just used this yesterday, but remember, aha, you see, now that works, doesn't it? Remember, we're not doing this in number order, so now we're going to cut off the diagonal because this was the bit that was around the yoke of the shirt, so it's angled and I want it straight. So that's got rid of that. And I love that it's got this very delicate piece of ribbon running through that lace. That's the stitching where it was sewn on. And then obviously, let's have a look. It definitely goes top to bottom, so we can't turn it around because that's the way of the lace. So I'm wondering if the answer is to cut it deliberately short so that it doesn't... I've said this to you before, in my mind, if something almost fits, you know, if it's only a little bit short, it looks like it's been cut to the wrong size in my mind. Whereas if it's a lot short, it looks deliberate. So I'm going to put that there. And I know that line's not necessarily straight, but I can see that this fabric has not been cut straight. So I think we'll get away with that. See what I mean? It's just, I can stitch it straight, I think, so that's not a problem. Right, let's pin this in place because the decision has been made that this is what we're doing. So I'm going to put that on there. It's famous last words, isn't it? The decision has been made, because then I'm bound to change my mind. I trust everybody is happy, safe and well. We had a new fireplace fitted yesterday, so I'm super happy. I love it, love it, love it. I knew I would. It's thinner that end. So I just feel like, obviously well, I say obviously, we have central heating for the heat, but I come from a fire family. We've always had open fires, and it's been carried through since I left home into my homes, houses, whatever. And we moved here, and although it's an old house, the people that have had it before had decorated it to quite a modern style. Consequently, although there are chimney breasts, there was no fire. And it's been bugging me for 2.5 years. And we just decided a few weeks ago, do you know what? Enough's enough. We've redecorated the room. I don't know why I can't get these scissors through here for some reason. We've decorated the room, moved my crafting area, as I've told you a few times. So now was the time to say, do you know what? We want the fire, we're going to have the fire. So there you go. So it's not an open fire, it's an enclosed log burner. This is what we had in the last house, but because we have the central heating and the chances of us using it are very, very slim, we actually cheated and went for a faux one of the electric variety. So it's not really a log burner at all, just looks like one. But it's obviously got the flickering flame and the look of a fire. And when I sat down last night and turned all the lights out and turned it on, I was a very happy bunny. So it was worth every penny. And it was 100% the right decision. So that's me made up for Christmas. And we've got my youngest granddaughter here Christmas Day. I think I've told you. In fact, they're sleeping over Christmas Eve. So consequently, she's got a fireplace that Santa can sort of come down, although I don't know how he gets out of the log burner, but there you go. Okay, so now we've got this lovely, skinny, scrappy heart. I just want to take... Where's my little black scissors? There's just a bit there, look, where I had trouble in the beginning. So I just want to snip that off so that little bit's not there. There we go. Right. Whew. It's very warm in here today. Oh, it's that new fire, isn't it? That's why. I'm going to put that along there like that. I know it's upside down, I do apologise. Obviously I need to see what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to stitch that on there. I just saw briefly before I sat down to turn the camera on that Roxy and Sarah have put out their last prompt for their stitchery of the year. So everyone is, you know, drawing sort of to a close now. These projects have been going on for a while. Okay, now I am wondering if I want something a bit extra on there. So in my embroidery box here, I have got these netty Suffolk puffs that I made. I'm just wondering if I want to bring a couple of those down, and then we could maybe put some blue beads in there, or if they are maybe a bit too big, because we made Suffolk puffs, didn't we, in the early days of this in our ephemera. So I seem to remember that I put them, yes, in the bag that related to the day that the fabric came. So let's have a little look. I did these medium-sized ones, didn't I, with beads in, like little flowers. And that one's got a button, so we could have 3 of those on there. Although I sort of feel like that's a greeny blue, and this white, what if we put a blue one? We could put one with little gold beads there, and maybe one with a button there. I don't like this green with these blues, so that is not going to be happening. So then the answer is, do I want these Suffolk puffs or not? I feel like I need a charm coming off of there. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to think if I've got a blue charm already made, or if I need go rummaging in a box. Well, of course, that's something that I could do later on. I think it goes there. I just feel like it belongs there. What I don't know is whether or not I need another one. Or also the argument is, if I'm saying these are wrong because of the colour, no. What about that borrow that I'm always saying I absolutely adore? Have we got an odd bit of that? See, now I just feel that one works. Perhaps it's just because I love this stuff so much. So I feel like we could have a net one and a borrow one. There you go. So what can anyone remember where these came from? The big ones were from there. Do you know what? Does it really matter? Was it? I didn't make these online. But that's almost ended up that size, which means it did start out quite big. Will that fit on there? No. So I need something slightly smaller than that. See, this is what happens when you're not organised. Although, to be honest, it's hard to be organised because you don't always know what you're going to do, because what you end up doing, or in my case anyway, is very dependent on the feeling that I get from the fabric. So let's just do a quick Suffolk puff, which can sit with one of these net ones. Okay, put the lid on them. I've already dropped an entire box of beads all over the floor today. That was fun, I can tell you. So, get this trimmed up. So yeah, I've not really got anything else to tell you. I told you about my fire. I'm all excited about that. So that's about it, really. but you know what it's like now. I need to go and buy some object art, as hubby would say, objet d'art, some random pieces of grey to put on the mantelpiece, because we didn't have a mantelpiece before, because obviously there was nothing there. So I'm going to go have a look and see what I can find. So I'm going to go and do a little bit of shopping tomorrow while I'm out getting the food shop. That'll be fun. And I managed to, I think I told you, hubby did some coat storage jobs the other week, and that meant I discovered I didn't have a winter coat that fit me, that I liked. So I've managed to get a coat, so I don't mind going out now. It's only casual, it's nothing special, but it's lovely and soft and warm. So yeah, roll on days out in winter. So obviously I'm just stitching round the edge of this circle, so that I've got a gather point. I've even done another December this morning. I did the postage stamp dangle, so you may have already seen that over on my Insta page. I set about doing that yesterday because I've got some old vintage stamps and I thought it would be nice to set one in resin, which would not only work for the prompts but of course would preserve it nicely. So I did that. I set it in resin yesterday, and then this morning I've just used some fabric and a keychain to bring it all together. So okay, here's a new puff. And it's lovely, this fabric. It looks really vintage, this fabric. It's probably one of the reasons I love it. So I think this one goes under here and that one goes there, like that. So while I've got it on the needle, I'm just gonna pop it straight on. I think it makes sense. As you can see, I can't help but dimension it. I just love when you get dimension. So that's that one. And then I'm going to tuck this one underneath there, and I'm going to come straight down with my thread and through the centre of that, and we have to make sure we don't, so fixing stitch first, then we can start to pull it tight, because we don't want to pucker our page. There we go. So that's those two stitched on, and then I'm just going to put a little holding stitch through this blue one, just one sort of invisible stitch, just to hold that there like that. I like that, so then I can just tie off or knot off this thread. Done. I've got 3 pairs of scissors by the side of me here. It's mad. Okay. So we've got that on there. Yes, very happy. I think now we need to do some, again, white cotton invisible on this lace. And then I'm going to do this heart. I'm not quite sure. I'll probably do an invisible tack on there as well, just to hold it in place while you know, while I'm thinking about what to do with it. I don't know if I will do some stitching around the edge, or if maybe that dog tooth is already busy, and if I start to try and stitch on there as well. Sorry, trying to thread a needle, lethal. Let's pull one of these bigger hole ones out from over here. These ones with the gold tip got a slightly bigger eye in them, but I've got so much dog teeth and flour in my face that I can't quite visualise the hole. Come on. Oh. Honestly, threading needles has got to be the most frustrating thing in the world. Any of you out there that can thread a needle first time without any trouble, I am so envious of you. I just can't. I don't even know why. It's nearly always a struggle. But it's especially a struggle when the camera's on, of course. Of course. How can I not? This is silly. Yay, there we go. Was a bit silly, wasn't it? Oh. Now I can't even tie a knot in the thread. Ho hum. I think that deserves a mouthful of coffee, don't you? Okay, so I'm going to start there next to the heart, and I'm just going to do these invisible little stitches again with quite a big space. It's almost like a reverse tacking stitch, if you like. It's just to hold everything where I want it. Make sure nothing moves before I get back and sew it down with decorative stitches. Oops, got stuck around the pin. Okay. That's hubby, you can hear. He's working away upstairs. Although I'm surprised she's got space to work, to be honest, because I've just put a load of stuff up in his office. One thing we're really short of here is cupboards. You know, years ago in old houses you had an airing cupboard, and you'd keep all your sort of linens in, and you'd have a pantry, you keep food in. There was an understairs cupboard that you'd keep your coats and your hoover and things in. Well, yeah, we haven't got any of those here, so storage is a big issue. Being a big open plan room, we can I want to pull that over a little bit. This is a little where it's been curved around that yoke, the yoke of that shirt. It's been given a memory of a curve, and I need to stitch that memory out, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna straighten that up a bit and go, no, Mr. Lace, you will go where I want you to be. So yeah, we haven't got any of those storage cupboards, which is a little bit annoying. So basically, anything that I can't find a home for tends to go up in hubby's office. Bless him. So he's gradually getting less and less space up there. Fortunately, desk job, so he doesn't really need a lot of space. That's what I keep telling him anyway. Oh dear. Right, where's that thread gone? There. So it's creeping back again already. Behave. So that's that, really. We're working our way up here. I'm doing more stitches than I would normally do for this, just because of that curve. I'm just pulling that bit of ribbon back. Right, there you go. So now we can move into the heart. So we got the fun of threading a needle again. Let's move those out of the way. See, that unfortunately is, mind you, actually, as it's only a tacking stitch, I could do it singularly and then it might be enough. Save us the drama of threading another needle. So let's just go in that bottom there, right on that point, in, and actually I could semi-go straight up the middle rather than round the sides, and then that would save me a bit of thread, wouldn't it? Not that I'm short of thread, it's just that I don't really want to have to thread the needle again right now. So it's almost the weekend again, guys, and I'm conscious that obviously I've not filmed my collage, Marguerite Miller collage, for 2 weeks, and tomorrow, and it's like the third one's due, and tomorrow is going to be the third week of Postcards Home. So I feel like I need to be doing 2 videos a day, if only to bring you up to date. So this afternoon I will be doing my Marguerite Miller collage page. because I don't want those things to be neglected and forgotten about. But one of the things that has been highlighted by this is that my commitment to do a set thing every day does prevent me from adding in or doing other things, because then things get missed. So I'm going to be working out a completely different type of schedule for next year, but obviously I'll bring you more of that later on. So there you go, there's today's. We've got fabric number 8, we got the lace from that fantastic shirt. This is gifted fabric from day 3 or 4, and some old net lace. So obviously I will finish this evening and bring you back the completed item tomorrow when we'll open bag number 9. Stay safe, I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.